Hoi hoi folks, good morning, good afternoon and good evening wherever you are in the world. My name's Sean, aka Uncle Frogface, and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. Today we have this. We have this month's ScrawlrBox. It's August ScrawlrBox. It's just arrived. So if you've been following the channel, you'll know that for the last couple of months I've been sharing my views on the cost of the items and the kind of worth of ScrawlrBox in comparison to the recent price rise that they've had. So this one, August 2022, is actually going to be the penultimate box before I finally make my decision whether to continue with ScrawlrBox or to have a look at other art subscription boxes. So we've got this one, we've then got September as well. If you want to kind of look back and see my thoughts on the last couple of boxes, then I'll leave the link for the playlist just up here so you can go and have a look. But yeah, without further ado, let's crack this open, let's have a look. Yeah, let's turn the camera around, we'll get cracking. Okay, here we are. What say we just open this thing up? Here we go. So for those of you who don't know, and I say this every time, ScrawlrBox is a monthly art subscription box. The contents inside are curated to go together and work together, and the contents of the box are supposed to be more than the cost of the box itself, which I think is currently $18.99. But yes, let's have a look what is inside. For every box that is bought, a tree is planted. So these are our supplies. I'm going to pop these to the side. So we've got the Scrawlzine, we have got we've got a featured artist artwork. So this is from Julia Avisa, and we've got links down here to socials. And I've also got drawing paper. So this kind of looks like oil to me. So I was thinking oil paints, maybe water soluble oil paints. But we've got drawing paper, not painting paper. So I'm not sure. I'm going to pop this aside. I'm going to move this aside and let's crack into the supplies and see exactly what we have. Okay, so I see an eraser, and I see a Tortillion and a stick. Okay, so we've got our sticker, which is part of the featured artwork. Let's see if I can match this up somewhere. It's going to be up here, I think, that section. Lovely. We've got Where Rivers Flow. That is our Scrawler challenge. So that will be our second ScrawlrBox video of the month. We will be using these supplies to do Where the River Flows. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Right. So I've had a running joke with a friend for a while that it's going to be pastels every time I open this up, and it never has been, and now it actually is, and it's oil pastels. So I was right, it is oils but not oil paints. But interestingly, we've got some Sennelier oil pastel sheets in here as well as having this, and then as well as having our drawing sheets over here. So I wonder if this is for drawing on or mixing on. We'll get to that in a moment. I need some scissors or something to open this up. There we go. I feel like I've skipped over everything else just to get straight to this, but oh well, there you go. We do have, see if I can match up where they were. There we go. White ones in there, black in there, dark blue there. That was the tanny colour, yellow, green, no red, interestingly. Okay, so yeah, and then we've got some loose sheets of paper. I've got 2 cover sheets for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets of this, and then we've got the drawing paper as well. We've got a Tortillion, quite a large Tortillion. Can I judge the size of this? This is They do have sizes. It's an old one, but no, that's just a standard Tortillion Derwent eraser, which I feel like we've had this exact eraser before. I'll have to check that, but we've definitely had a green eraser from Derwent in a ScrawlrBox. We've got this, which I'm guessing is for scratching into the oil pastels, and then we have a Staedtler Mars Lumograph 5B, so very soft pencil. And then our sweet this month is a spearmint chew. So I like spearmint and I like chews. So sorry, Andrew, that's my husband. Andrew only gets the sweets if it's something that I dislike, but I will definitely be having this one. So if we have a look at our little menu on the back of here, oil pastels, high coverage, applied to a variety of different surfaces, including canvas, paper, metal, stone, wood, and glass. Doesn't say anything about the paper that comes with them. The pencil, blending stump, Tortillion, wooden stylus, scratcher, yeah, artist eraser. Got the paper as well, 10 sheets, and where rivers flow. Interestingly, it doesn't say anything about this paper that comes with the oil pastels. So I'm gonna have a quick look in the Scrawler zine. Here we go. So you've got scratch away, layer up, blend, drawing paper, artist print. No, it doesn't say anything about the paper that comes with it. We've got to sit down with the artist. There we go. What else do we have here? Things to try. So bits of advice: blending, heavy blending, light blending. It's true, there are lots of ways you can use oil pastels. So I'm actually looking forward to this one. I've not used oil pastels for years. Yeah, this is June when we had those, I would say, disappointing highlighter markers, but we've got some lovely pieces of artwork here. I really like this one. No names that I wrote. Oh yeah, XX Caramel. That's a name that I recognise. And magic foil pastels and behind the artwork. Okay, right, let me get set up and let's swatch these out and have a little bit of a play. But yeah, it doesn't say anything about this additional paper that has come with the oil pastels. So extra paper, why not? Okay, so first of all, I have eaten the sweet. It was very nice, very refreshing on this warm day. Although it's made my pumpkin coffee taste slightly odd. I know it's August and pumpkin spice latte is a drink for the autumn, but what can I say? I'm loving it. Right, so I said that I have a friend who I've been joking with for a while. It's going to be pastels each week. So Chantel, I wrote Darkest Raven movie minis. This one's for you. See, I told you it would be there eventually. So what I thought I would do, since we've got the two sets of paper, this one is very smooth and this one is textured. So I'm going to see what the supplies look like on both pieces of paper. So we're going to be doing a lot of swatching today. So first of all, pencil, we're going to go through this nice and quick. Yeah, 5B is a very soft pencil, but it's nice. I like it. It goes down well. You can see there is some texture to this paper. But it's generally very smooth, whereas if I do that same thing over on this one, you can see, you can hear much more textured surface. Okay, I'm going to try the Tortillion on the graphite. We've got it, so why not? Give it a try. Yeah, smudges very nicely. I've become a big fan of Tortillions over the last year or so. They're actually a very, very useful tool. Also, if you do have some sandpaper or a sandpaper block like this, very good way to clean your Tortillion. So obviously this didn't come in ScrawlrBox, it's just one that I have. But yes, very, very useful tool if you have one. If not, just some sandpaper will do. If you're really stuck, go outside and rub it on some concrete. That also works. Okay, let's try the eraser. Just a line through. Yeah, it leaves lots of little peels, but that's fine. And it's a Derwent. As I say, I'm pretty sure we've had this eraser before. Right, so that's these parts, except for this stylus. So I guess we should start with the oil pastels. So I know from using pastels in the past that ideally you want to go from light to dark and not dark to light. So this can be really hard for you to see, but there is some white. Yeah, I don't think that's coming up at all. But these are very soft. Very soft. Can you see that mark on there already? It's turning into that lovely lipstick shape. Let's go in with some yellow, and this, yeah, they're very soft. This paper is very smooth, very smooth. Whereas this, I feel, actually uses the pastels better. I feel like it's depositing the pastel much nicer on the page. That's the yellow gold. This is yellow ochre. It's a very nice colour, but because of the smoothness of this, I feel like it picks up when you go over it, whereas with this textured paper, it lays down, you can go back over it, and all it does is smooth that out rather than spreading it out. Obviously that's why this is oil pastel paper. We've now got this green, so this is just a light green. I should point out on these Sennelier pastels that there's little tabs here, so once you get down far enough you can actually take off just a strip of the paper, which means that you're not unwrapping the whole thing, which is something I've had to do in the past. Unwrap whole pastels and then hold it in a piece of tissue to be able to use it. But these you can just take off a small section and then still have the covering there. That's a nice green. Green's my favourite colour, and that is a nice green. Again, I feel it goes down much nicer on the Sennelier pastel paper. And we have this blue. This is a charcoal blue, which is, yeah, it's definitely more of a greyish blue. I feel like it's difficult for you to see from this distance how these are doing. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. Can you see the difference in how those are applying to the paper? It's subtle, but if we check this one, for instance, you can see it looks smudged, whereas this one, you can see the texture of the paper, you can see the oil pastels really laying down nicely. Okay, and then we've got this black, which is just black. Okay, that's a good black. It's a really nice black. Right, so that's kind of swatches of all of the colours. I will go in and do some mixing with these as well. I want to try some sgraffito. So that's where you take a stylus or a pencil or something and you scratch into the colour. So actually, let's lay down a little bit more of one of the colours. So I'm going to do this ochre, just so we've got a nice bit of coverage here. I'll do the same here. We've got roughly the same amount. There we go. Yeah, very soft pastels, but they're going down nicely. Right, so I'm going to use the pointed end first and just do a line through. Nice. I would probably suggest having some tissue handy if you're doing this, because I've got some schmutz on the end. I'm just going to wipe it on the side here, and then the same here. Yeah, and then we've got the much thicker side as well. I'm going to go flat with this. Yeah, look at that. So sgraffito is an interesting technique. I think actually the artist might have used some in this piece. Yeah, it looks like potentially some sgraffito with these branches. Although, interesting, again, so I've pointed this out before, where an artist that has been using the supplies for ScrawlrBox have not actually been using the supplies for the ScrawlrBox, because we can see here, right, there are distinctive different colours of the blues and the greens, but you can mix those. However, what we don't have is this pink, which shows up here, here and here, and this much more kind of rusty orange colour. We've definitely got the umber, because I can see it up in here and here, but this is a different colour. So the artist, when creating this piece, has had additional colours over what we have got in the piece. So yeah, another thing that slightly bothers me with ScrawlrBox. Okay, let's try the Tortillion now. So I'm just gonna blend out some. So on this smooth paper, it actually smooths out to a nice smooth texture. That's actually quite nice. Clean that off, and let's go over to the textured side. Also smooths out to a really smooth texture. I think this actually leaves it more vibrant than over here. Here it starts to wash out. Here I think the colour is much more saturated. It's interesting that they gave us this paper when it already came with paper. Again, I feel like this came with paper, and in order to justify the cost of the box, they have put in this paper, which, because it is a ScrawlrBox exclusive, they will give a price for it. In fact, what have they put on here? Recommended retail price $2.99. But actually that's arbitrary, because you can't tell what the paper is or where it came from or how much it would actually have cost. And then they've just completely glazed over the fact that this already comes with paper. Let's try a little bit of blending. So I would like to do the green and some yellow, and then I'm going to do some black and white over the top as well. So first of all, so I remember using oil pastels in the past and having a tub of baby oil, and using that to smooth. I probably should have done it the other way around, actually, yellow and then green, but I'm committed now. Yeah, but using some baby oil and a Q-tip, so like one of these and some baby oil to blend out, because obviously these are oil, so that additional oil means that you can get a much smoother colour. Again, I'm not going to do that in this because we haven't got baby oil in the supplies, and I only use the supplies that come in the box. It's interesting how thickly it goes down on this other paper over here. Ooh, there we go, and that's why we go dark to light. Right, let's pop that there, and I'm going to use the Tortillion, and I'm going to blend these together. I always used to think of oil pastels as expensive crayons, and I think that's because in French, crayon kind of goes along with oil pastels, and a lot of the oil pastels that you see will have crayon written somewhere on the box as well. But the fact is, these are an art supply unto themselves. They're not wax crayons. They're completely different. I actually do have a load of wax crayons to review and to do some art with, just to really test them out. I like the dappled effect over this side. This kind of looks like foliage, which is nice, and I feel like there's more variety in the colour here than there is here, but this is a nice, smooth, even colour. What I'd like to do is go over these again. I'm going to add some white on this side for both, and then I'm going to add some black on this side for both, and I'm just stippling in a little bit so I can mix that in. So the white should lighten the colour and kind of desaturate it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's do the same on this side. And again, that just blends in really nicely, really smoothly. And then find a clean spot on here. Let's do the black on this side. And this is going to darken the colours quite a lot, actually. I think it's a case of going very light with the black, maybe a little bit heavier with the white. That's why we swatch things out, to to have a try, have a play. There we go. And then the good thing with these, obviously, is then you can stipple over the top and you can layer these up. So that's the blue over the top. Here is the ochre. You can get really textured effects with these. And then again, we can go in and we can sgraffito right through. There we go. So what I do want to try, and I don't think I've ever done this before, so this is going to be interesting. Can I draw with the pencil through the pastel? I'm just going to go on this yellow here. Oh, I can. Interesting. It picks up some wax on. Nice. That kind of opens up something else to be able to do as well. That's good to know. And finally, can we erase with an eraser? I'm not as hopeful on this, but let's give it a try. To an extent, but not really. Let's try on this side. Yeah, no, this side it's just pushing it around. Okay, right, so that's the supplies for this month. I'm actually happy with oil pastels. I think that this can be a really interesting one. It would have been nice if we had the full range of colours and this pink and potentially a red in there as well. But like this limits the colour palette a little bit. But next time we work with these, we'll be doing our Scrawler challenge, which is Where Rivers Flow. So, what I'd like you to do is leave a comment down below and tell me which paper you think I should use for the Scrawler challenge. Should I use the drawing pad that ScrawlrBox supplied, or should I use the oil pastel sheets which were designed to go with the Sennelier pastels and are from Sennelier? I'm happy to go either way, but I'd like your input on this one. So leave a comment down below. Tell me which one you would like me to use in the Scrawler challenge. As always, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and until next time, goodbye.